Hey guys, this is Taladan, and you're watching Tal's Minecraft Feed the Beast Unleashed. And today we are finally going to be doing the AE system. So what we want to do is we want to get some of these heat vents and containment walls, and we want some CPUs. As you can see, I've already made up the stuff that I'm going to need, and pattern providers. Now, for each one of these, the containment walls, you need 4 gold, 4 iron, and a Certus quartz. For the heat vents, you need the ME cabling, 4 iron bars, and 4 iron ingots. And the pattern provider, you actually need 2 conversion matrices and a storage cell. The storage cell is the basic processor with the 4 quartz and 4 redstone, and then the conversion matrix is a basic processor with Certus quartz and nether quartz, 4 iron, and fluix dust, which is Certus quartz dust, nether quartz dust, and redstone. Advanced processor and 4 iron ingots and a crafting table. So the pattern providers really are the most expensive part of the recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started. And you'll notice I'm, like I said, I was going to do a 12 by 12, and eventually it will get to 12 by 12. But for right now, we're just going to do 3, 4, 5 by 5, 3, 4, 5. And the good thing about the containment, or the not the containment unit, but the good thing about the molecular assembler is you can actually build it up however you want to initially to get started on it, and then later on you can add more to it as you gain more materials. It will not affect the patterns that you put in there, and if you don't know what that is, what I'm talking about, you'll learn that in just a minute. So let's get this up here. Now you'll notice with the containment wall, with the assembler containment wall, I am putting it all the way around all the edges. This will, you have to have the containment wall all the way around on the edges. If you have an edge block, it has to be the containment wall. Otherwise, it won't form into the assembler. The heat vents have to be the exterior walls of the assembler unit, and you have to fill the containment walls completely, fill the holes in the containment walls completely. I'm sure you figured out by now this is a multi-block structure. With the multi-block structures, it has to be made in a certain type pattern. Okay, we'll just go ahead and put these in there. Now, as far as the CPUs go, for a molecular assembler, you have to have at least 1 crafting CPU and 1 pattern provider. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do 9 CPUs, and the rest of them we're going to do pattern providers. And you can tell that I've made up more than I needed. So that's because I'm going to be adding on to this later on, but this will be enough to get started. Alright, so we've got all the pattern providers in there. Now all I have to do is finish hooking this up, and if you watch this right here, once it forms, it automatically connects. And then you can go through and put patterns in. You'll notice I've got 18 pages. You have a page of patterns per pattern provider. Now what I need to do is I need to make a pattern encoder. I'm going to come up here to do that, and we're going to search for pattern encoder. I'm going to need a conversion matrix, a crafting table, and 7 iron ingots. So I don't think I have any matrix. Yeah, I've got one conversion matrix, so I can shift click that and rock and roll. And now I'm also going to want to do that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, I'm also going to want to get, and I don't think I want it right there. I think I'm probably going to want it somewhere else, but I also want to get another monitor down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a terminal access terminal and a crafting terminal. And we're gonna, you notice I've already got some of these things crafted up. Alright, now the crafting terminal will allow us to craft down here instead of having to go upstairs each time. And for right now, I'm just going to throw it right there above the pattern encoder. Alright, the first thing we want to do is we want to teach the system how to make a blank pattern. And that's the ME blank pattern. And we're going to actually need a couple of these. And what you do is you put your blank pattern in, and you put a stack of blank patterns in there, and then you can simply pull your recipe up and shift left click the arrow, and it will automatically put it in the pattern encoder, and you can encode your pattern. Now, like I say, you have to have a blank pattern in there to begin with to encode into, but now you will see if I go into craftable items, instead of having to put it here in the crafting slot, I can simply request blank patterns to be crafted, and they will craft them. See? So that is how the molecular assembler chamber works for crafting things. And you can also have it use the machines. Give me just a second here. You can also have it use the machines via it's not IO blocks. Hold on just a second, I'll tell you which block it is. It's easy to remember all these different names. The ME interface. You can have it remember the different patterns inside of an ME interface that things need to craft, and I will explain that to you as I set that up later on. But this is going to be the biggest boon to crafting. It almost makes it like creative mode, which is kind of awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and encode. Actually, I didn't hit shift on that. We're going to hit shift and encode that, and we also want it to know how to do these. Encode that, and you see when you have an encoded pattern, it tells you what it crafts and tells you what it needs to craft it. So this is really, if you haven't used one of these in your ME system before, you really need to see about testing out with this and figuring out how that works. So now you'll notice for each part I'm telling it how to craft each part. Now I haven't told it how to do the glass and iron ingots. The system already knows how to make iron ingots, and I've got a good supply. I don't really have to worry about that, and I've also currently got a good supply of glass, so I'm not really worried about that. If I ever get to where I'm running out, I will teach my system, not this thing, but my system, through a pattern provider, not a pattern provider, through a interface block, how to craft glass. And let's see if I can get it. Also note, if you have it on just stored items and you try and search for one of your crafted things, it will not come up when you search for it. So you have to have it on stored and craftable. So we're going to go ahead and begin that, and boom, it crafts us an interface. Now, what I want to do is I want to teach it that we need a redstone chipset, and let's say we have a gold redstone chipset, and we have a Fluix dust. Actually, what I can do is this processor. And see, this is why I built my lasers up, is because you can make the redstone chipset. Now, this tells it how to do that, how to craft that processor, but the problem is, I don't have any silicone. So, what I want to do is find my quartz dust, and I think we're just going to use nether quartz for this. And I want to get one of those, and I want to get another one. Now if we take and throw that into the furnace, it will make silicone. Well, I can take that off of there and replace that glass there. And what this will allow us to do is come down here and automatically assign a pattern. Now this is not quite the same as making your own pattern, because see, whenever I put the quartz dust in there, nothing comes up, but I can click into there and tell it that one quartz dust equals one silicone. So then I take that and see, it says encoded pattern crafts one silicone with one nether quartz dust. But if I take and put it in here, you'll notice it comes up with a red background. That's because this pattern, a manually assigned pattern, does not go into the chamber. What it does, what you have to do is put it into an ME interface. And to do that, you just come down here and put it in the processing slot. Don't worry about the export config and the exported items. That's something we'll deal with later. But basically, anytime that I ask for quartz or silicone, it will come over here, it will pull quartz dust out of nether quartz dust out of the system and throw it into the interface here, which then inserts it into the machine below. Now keep in mind, I've also got an extraction pipe, or not an extraction pipe, but an input bus, import bus on the back here, and it imports from the machine. So the interface will not import from the machine, it will just throw it into the machine. And that's how you tell it or assign a particular pattern to a system for it to craft it for you, or smelt it, or anything like that. Now, I do need to set up another macerator, because I'm going to want to macerate the quartz, nether quartz that comes in, and other things. But for right now, and I'm probably going to put it down here because I've got a power line coming in here. For right now, I just wanted to show you guys that, and then I will get the rest of the system set up off camera. The other thing that I wanted to note is that you can set up interfaces, I believe, to this assembly table for it to automatically craft. You just have to put a interface underneath the table, I believe. I haven't played with that. I will play with that off camera and see if that works. So, but as far as that goes, I spent most of yesterday waiting for products to finish crafting, I should say. Not necessarily crafting, but waiting for products to finish building on that assembly table. As you can see, I've made several chipsets. The golden chipsets specifically are useful, and I've also made some gates for automating tasks with BuildCraft pipes. If you've never used the gates, I'll go ahead and explain that. I know this is in my bee section, but this doesn't have specifically to do with bees. With a gate, you can come in here, and you'll notice I don't have anything here because I'm not processing anything right now. But you can come over here and do conditionals with these autarkic gates. Now, if the pipe is empty, it can energy pulse, it can single energy pulse, it can turn on a redstone signal, or nothing. Items traversing, same thing. Energy pulse, single energy pulse, redstone signal, or nothing. Redstone signal on, redstone signal off. Inventory empty, items in inventory. Space in inventory, inventory full. Missing a queen or a princess. See, it automatically reads the item that it's attached to, and these don't work just for apiaries. They work for pretty much any type of machine block out there, and they'll have different options like energy level or fuel level or anything like that. You see, no frames, it'll pulse. No energy, it'll pulse. Energy stored, can store, full. These things are extremely useful. And now, hopefully you can understand why I wanted to go ahead and get those instead of the redstone engines, because the redstone engines, they're either off or on. They don't give you the conditionals that the autarkic iron gates do. And this is an AND gate, so you can actually do a double conditional. If the redstone signal is on and the pipe is empty, you can set it up to different conditionals. So that's pretty much it with the gates. There are different types of gates. You can use just a regular gate, iron AND gate, iron OR gate, gold AND, gold OR, diamond AND, diamond OR, and then your autarkics, iron, gold, and diamond. Now with the iron, gold, and diamond gates, you get multiple, or you get more options to test for. Like with the iron, you get 2 to test for. I believe with the gold, you get like 4. And with the diamond, you get like 5 or 6, something like that. I'd be honest with you, I've never really used a diamond autarkic gate, but I'm sure that somebody out there can come up with an idea to be useful for them. I did pure breed some majestic bees because I've just got to get some major honey production going. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I know it's kind of a short episode. I've been doing about 25-30 minutes an episode, but it's really, I don't have enough time left to do anything major, any other major projects, and there's not really any minor projects for me to work on other than doing like the macerator and stuff, but you've already seen me set those kind of things up, so I don't want to bore you with that. I do want to say thank you for viewing and liking my videos. I've got like 1 or 2 people that always thumbs up my videos, and I appreciate you guys so much. More than you know, any kind of encouragement like that is always a blessing and lets me know that, hey, I'm not doing a totally crappy job. You guys feel free to comment. Feel free to share on Twitter or Google Plus or Reddit or Facebook or anything like that. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys later.